The Vanishing of Tommy Caldwell, December 8, 1971, began as a normal winter morning in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. But by the end of the day, it would become one of the most perplexing missing persons cases the town had ever seen. Tommy Caldwell was a bright and adventurous 4-year-old, known for his curiosity and love of playing outdoors. He lived with his parents, Margaret and Daniel Caldwell, in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The morning started like any other. Daniel left early for work at the shipyard, while Margaret prepared breakfast for Tommy and his older sister, Emily. After breakfast, Tommy begged to go outside and play. Margaret, needing to tend to household chores, allowed him to play in the fenced backyard, dressed in a red winter coat and blue corduroy pants. Tommy happily trotted outside, his little boots crunching against the frost-covered ground. Around 11:30 a.m., Emily, who had been inside drawing, noticed that the backyard had gone silent. She went to check on her brother, but saw no sign of him. Tommy had vanished. The first moments of panic, Margaret immediately called out for Tommy. At first, she assumed he had wandered the front yard, but as she searched the entire property, dread set in. A neighbor, Mrs. Reynolds, reported seeing Tommy near the edge of the street around 11:15 a.m. She said he'd been staring at a blue car parked a short distance away. However, she turned away for only a few minutes, and when she looked again, both the boy and the car were gone. By noon, Margaret frantically called the police. Within an hour, officers and volunteers flooded the area. Search teams combed through fields, backyards, and nearby wooded trails. Helicopters circled overhead, but there was no sign of Tommy. Strange clues and dead ends. One of the most puzzling clues in Tommy's disappearance was a small blue mitten found near the sidewalk, close to where the blue car had been parked. Margaret identified it as belonging to Tommy, but beyond this, there were few leads. Police interviewed every neighbor. One man claimed he saw a stranger in a dark coat, lingering near the Caldwell home the week before. But with no further details, this lead went cold. By nightfall, the search expanded. Local authorities reached out to nearby towns, fearing that Tommy may have been taken out of Fairhaven. Still, nothing surfaced. Theories and speculations. Over time, many theories emerged. Some believed Tommy had been abducted by someone in the mysterious blue car. Others suspected an accident. Perhaps Tommy had wandered to the nearby river and fallen in. But extensive searches of the river yielded no evidence. Another theory pointed to a drifter seen in town the week before. A gas station attendant recalled a man in a blue car asking for directions out of town on the morning of Tommy's disappearance. However, the description was too vague to track down the individual. Years later, a new lead? For years, Tommy's case remained unsolved. But in 1998, nearly 3 decades after he vanished, a woman in Ohio came forward with a chilling story. She believed her late uncle, a long-haul truck driver, may have been involved in the case. He had once mentioned picking up a young boy in Massachusetts around the same time Tommy disappeared. Detectives looked into this lead, but were unable to verify any connection. Despite the decades that have passed, the case of Tommy Caldwell remains open. His family never stopped searching. In 2015, investigators released an age-progressed image of what Tommy might look like as an adult. To this day, the mystery remains. What happened to Tommy Caldwell on that winter morning? Was he taken? Did he simply wander too far? Perhaps one day, the truth will finally be uncovered.